Hello friends, welcome to another class to go. I am so excited to bring you this class to go. This class to go will feature the Perfectly Pears bundle. This is going to be a brand new release in our online exclusives on July 1st. To earn this class to go, you need to place an order of at least $50 in my online store by July 15th. So you can earn the class between July 1st and July 15th with an order of at least $50. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous stamp set, and the dies are really incredible too. We're going to use both of these things. I have 4 cards to share with you. They are stunning, and I can't wait to share with you. But if you want to earn the class to go for free, like I said, all you need to do is place an order of $50 in my online store. You will need the stamps and the dies to create your cards. I will not do any stamping or any die cutting that is made with any of these dies. So you will have to do all the die cutting with the Perfectly Pears dies. Anything else like circles or banners or labels or stuff like that, I will die cut for you. But if the die is in this die set, I won't do your die cutting. So you will need the stamps in the bundle as well as the inks to complete your card. Now, if you don't have this bundle, you can purchase it in my online store as part of your purchase to get the class to go for free, or you can substitute with products you already have. We've had pear stamps in the past, so maybe you just want to substitute with what you already have, and that's completely fine as well. So to get the class to go for free, all you need to do is place a $50 order before tax and shipping in my online store. Now, if your order is over $100, you're going to get the class to go kit free. You're also going to get 5 bonus cards from my basket. Now, these cards may not coordinate with the Perfectly Pears bundle. They're just 5 extra cards for you to use as inspiration or to mail to your family, friends, however you want to use those 5 cards. It's just a little extra bonus from me. If your order is over $150, you're going to get the class to go kit, the 5 bonus cards, and you're going to get a full package of the embellishments that we're using this week. And this week we are using the holographic resin dots. They are stunning. Oh my gosh, I have used these so much, and you're going to see how gorgeous these are. As we use them over the week, they kind of like transform into whatever color we're using, and they're just phenomenal. So if you want to get those for free, all you need to do is place a $150 order before tax and shipping in my online store. And I'll send you a full package of those for free. You'll use a few on your projects, but you'll have the whole package left. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And let me show you the card we are making today. We are making this stunning card. So beautiful, right? This paper is just gorgeous. When I saw this paper, that's really what sold me on the bundle. So I wanted to show you some of the paper. This is the Painterly Pears DSP. I don't think I ever looked at the name of it until today. We're going to use this pattern later in the week. This is probably my favorite pattern, this Darling Duckling pattern with the pops of blues and pinks. Just simply gorgeous. You can see some of the sides are a little more neutral, a little less busy. So that's great. You have this beautiful pattern. Again, this one, just gorgeous, gorgeous patterns of this paper. These kind of more neutral sides. This one's gorgeous too. And the dies will actually cut these images directly out of here. The flowers, the double pears, the stem and leaves, the pears, it'll cut them all out. I think, did we see them all? I think, no, not this one. This one is gorgeous too. I haven't even been able to cut into this one because it's so gorgeous, but you can see it is a stunning pack of DSP. So you'll want to make sure that you grab this one when you're shopping in my online store. It's all part of the suite that this comes in. Okay, but let's go ahead and get started. Now, it did occur to me that after I made this card, I realized I adhered the stem upside down. So we're going to try to make the stem go right side up on our card. So let's talk about some of those supplies we're using. Now, I've already done some work in advance just so that the video isn't super long. So we have a basic beige card base. So this card base is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 on the long side. Now, don't worry about writing any of the measurements down. Everything is in the video description, and sometimes I give measurements wrong when I'm saying them verbally. So if you ever have any questions on the measurements, please make sure to check the printed measurements in the video description or on my blog, because if it's typed up, those are the correct measurements. All right, we have a piece of Darling Duckling. This is quickly becoming one of my favorite colors. This is 5 1/4 by 4. I have 4 pieces of that DSP. And these are 1 by 4, I believe. 1 1/4 by 3 3/4. See, that's why you don't go with what I say. Go with what is typed in the video description. So we have 4 of these. Then we have a basic beige circle. I've already stamped in Mossy Meadow our pear and our stem. So we're going to do some more stamping with those. So I'll set that aside. You're going to need 2 flowers. These are stamped in Memento. I've already colored one. We're going to color the second one. And I've already stamped my greeting on a stylish shaped banner. And then you're just going to need 3 Calypso Coral flowers. And again, you'll get a piece of Calypso Coral to die cut your own flowers. Those come in the dies with the Perfectly Pears. Okay, so let's do our stamping and coloring. Let's go ahead and start with our coloring. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. I'm using Petal Pink, and I'm going to do Petal Pink Light to begin with. And I'm just going to go, I'm not going to be too precise with these. If there's some white spots on the flowers, I'm okay with that. That's going to just give a more realistic look on the flowers. It's going to make it look like there's sun shining. So I'm not too worried about making sure that everything is perfectly colored in. I'm just adding a little bit of color. All right, with my dark Petal Pink, I'm going to really concentrate in the center and just go up the petals just a little bit. And I want this to be a little bit heavier, so I'm just adding quite a bit of color, maybe under that petal there, but just really in the center and then up the petals just a little bit. And then just with my light again, just kind of blending that out just a touch. But again, we are not making this perfect. So just real quick coloring with the flower. Okay, and you're going to need 2 of those. So make sure you do 2 of those. Okay, let's go back to our stamping and let's look at our stamp set. So the stamp set, this is a 2-step stamp set, which means you have a line image and then you have a fill-in image, and you have that with the 2 pairs, the 1 pair, and then the stems. So I've already stamped the line image. So I have the pear, and then we'll stamp in the leaves and the stem. So let's start with the leaves and the stem because all we need to do is fill that in. So I have Mossy Meadow. These are both stamped in Mossy Meadow. And so what I love about this stamp set is not only is it a 2-step stamp, but it's also a distinctive stamp. And what that means is that you're going to get light and dark shading with just inking up the stamp and stamping it. It's going to give you so much different shadows and different shading. So even though we're using the same exact ink for our fill-in image here, let me zoom out just a touch. I think I didn't zoom out far enough. Even though we're using the same exact ink, I used Mossy Meadow to stamp the stem, and we're using Mossy Meadow to do the fill-in stamp. It's going to give us so much different texture and shading because of the way the distinctive stamps are made. So you can see, you just get all that gorgeous shading and you don't lose any of the details from the line image. So really stunning. Really, really love that. Okay, so that's it with our stem. I'm going to leave my Mossy Meadow out. I'm going to pull out my Darling Duckling ink. And we're going to stamp the pear. I'm going to ink up the whole thing in my Darling Duckling. And then I'm going to flip it over. And when you're looking at the stamp, when it goes down, the right side is going to be the part that's a little bit more, that's a little bit heavier shaded. So that's the part that we're going to kind of focus on. So, but when I flip it over, it's going to be the left side. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to grab a blending brush and I'm going to go into my Mossy Meadow, and I'm just going to dab that onto what will be the right side when we stamp it, but I'm doing it on the left side. I'm just adding some of that ink just along that right side. So you can kind of see the green there. Okay, so we're gonna ink that down, just kind of line that up and ink it down. And this is gonna give us kind of that 2-toned color on the pear. We're gonna get that Darling Duckling, and then we're gonna get that Mossy Meadow. And because it's that distinctive stamp, you're going to get a lighter kind of watercolored shade. So gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna put my Darling Duckling away, and I'm gonna bring in the little kind of speckled stamp and just give the pear just a little bit of speckling. And let's close up all our ink before we have a disaster and move our stamps out of the way. And we're ready to die cut. So let's grab our dies out of here, and we are going to do some die cutting. I didn't do this in advance, so we're gonna do this all together. Normally I do all my die cutting in advance, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get both of these dies together on here, but we'll try. We might have to make 2 passes. Yeah, we're gonna have to make 2 passes, but that's okay. All right, I'm just gonna grab my mini machine. Now, a lot of you have the mini machine, whether yours is the boho blue or the white. They all work the same. But I've gotten a lot of questions recently about my plates are too tight, they won't go in, or it won't catch when you're sending it through. So let me give you a few tips with the mini machine. So when you get your machine, you get a couple of different plates. I think there's even a darker one. There's a darker gray one for embossing. The white one is supposed to be for cutting. Now, I own 6 mini machines, and I've never used the white one because every single machine is too tight for the white. If you look at them, the white is just slightly thicker. It's not a huge noticeable difference, but the white is just slightly thicker. And so that just makes it a little bit tougher to get through my machine. So if you're having trouble getting your plates through your machine, try the light gray plate. That may help you out. And when you make your sandwich too, I like to pull my my bottom cutting plate back just a little bit, even just, you know, 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch. I like to pull it back just a tiny bit, put my, my paper on there, and then put my top plate on top, and I overlap it just a little bit. You're kind of making like an E. That may be a little bit too overlapped, but you're just making like a capital E. If you look at it from the side, you're just making like an E. I hope you can see that. So with the top plate poking out a little bit further, it's going to catch that roller a little bit easier, and you're going to be able to send that through. So if you're having trouble with your mini machines, whether it's the, oh, where'd my other die go? Uh-oh, hold on. There it is. It's way back here. Okay. So if you're having trouble with your mini machines, try just kind of repositioning your plates a little bit. Try that light gray plate. Sorry, I can't think and do this at the same time. But try those first before you give up completely on the mini machines. I don't know if it's the batch of mini machines that's coming out, or maybe people are just getting around to using them after purchasing them, but I've been getting that question a lot. So go ahead and give that a try. Okay. All right, so we have our stem, we have our little pear, our beautiful multicolored pear, and let me set that aside. Now let's bring our card back in, and we're going to go ahead and start assembling. So let's set our pear and our flowers. Let's set all of this stuff off to the side. We're going to work on our DSPs. Now the great thing about this card is that you don't have to worry about being straight and precise. So I'm going to make sure that I have all my patterns going. So we have this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back of all of these, just on the side that I love. I love every single one of these patterns. They are just so stunning. Okay, and we are going to adhere these down. I'm going to start on like the bottom and the top, and then we're going to fill in the center. Now, I'm not worried about any of these being straight. I am worried about them being right side up, but as for straight, I'm not worried at all. So just go ahead and, you know, I'm going to slide this one under that one just because I like this top pattern a little bit better. This pattern I love. We're going to end up covering most of that up, but it is still so pretty. So just once you're happy with them all, just go ahead and give that a nice, good burnish. We're going to stick this onto our card front. You don't have to worry about anything being straight. Even if you put this Daffodil Delight, or not Daffodil, Darling Duckling piece on a little crooked, it's not going to matter because a lot of your DSP is on a little wonky, so it's all going to work out. Okay, that's our card base. We'll set that off to the side. Let's work on our pears. So I'm going to start with my pear. We're going to use some dimensionals, and I'm just going to add a couple right in the center. You can see I used the back of a piece that I messed up on, so I'm just going to add the pear here, and we're going to add our leaves on right side up. I'm just going to put one dimensional on this side where it's going to touch the circle, and that should hold it. And this one's going to go right on. You know, I think we're going to need a dot of glue. You can use a glue dot. Let's just do a small little dot of glue there. Just our liquid glue that will hold it. Okay, perfect. All right, so we have our pears on with the stems going in the right direction this time. And I'm going to take one of my flowers, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue just kind of on the little edges here. And we're going to tuck this one in on the side right here. Just like that. So it's popping out the side. The other one we're going to put on a dimensional. And we're going to pop it in the side. Now that is, I only put dimensionals on the center of my flowers. Or on the center of my pears. Just to make sure that we have plenty of room to slide things in. Okay. I'm going to trim my greeting just a little bit. Because it's getting in the way of that dimensional that's right there. Perfect. So we're going to set that down. And I'm just going to use my glue for that just a little bit. And we'll adhere that. We'll put a dimensional on the back of it when we stick it to the card. But just a little bit behind the pear. Just like that. So pretty, right? Oh, love it. Okay, let's go ahead and stick this onto our card. And we'll come back and add our little flowers in a minute. So I'm going to use a few dimensionals. So I'm going to make sure I put one kind of on the greeting there. Because I have this dimensional from the leaf kind of being sticky, I don't want everything to sit at a different level. I'm just going to put one more right here just to make sure everything sits at the right level. All right, and we're going to stick this on. You can make sure your greeting is straight. Line it up with the bottom of the card, not your DSP. Gorgeous, right? All right, now our final touch is our little flowers, and I am just going to use glue dots for this. So I'm just going to put one of them on a glue dot, and then we'll just go ahead and stick them down. Because we're covering the center, I'm not worried about the center of that flower being exposed, and this will be a lot quicker drying than trying to use the liquid glue. But if you want to use the liquid glue, you absolutely could. But I'm just going to do a few of these. You can put them wherever you want, just like that. And then we're going to bring in our holographic dots here. I'm going to use my take your pick tool, not my scissors. Let me grab that. Whoop. Okay. And I'm just going to use the smallest ones. And we're just going to put one of those in the center of each of the flowers. And it's really going to pick up the yellows and the greens on this card. And it's just going to be so stunning. All right, and that completes this card. Gorgeous, right? That is card number 1 of the Perfectly Pears class to go. I'll be back tomorrow with card number 2. Remember, if you want to earn this class to go for free, all you need to do is place an order of at least $50 before tax and shipping in my online store, and I will mail you this class to go for free. You have until July 15th to get this class to go for free. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer your questions. You can always send me an email as well. Thanks so much for joining me. If you want to see more pictures or details, you can head to my blog. There's also a link in the video description for my blog that will take you directly to the post of this that will give you all the details. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so that you never miss a video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow in day 2. Bye.